Welcome to today's Think Property Club podcast. Um, if you're new to this, we teach people how to do small to medium property developments in Australia. We will teach you more about that as we go along. Today, we're bringing on a member from our team who is going to teach us about how do we build our brand. And especially once you dive into property, you really want to know how to brand your property, whether you're selling one house to whether you're selling 20 houses, which is going to get you much better profits in everything you do. Now, I'm going to bring on Ainsley, our branding guru, in a second. Now, for those any questions, at the end of the podcast, we're going to allow our students, our members, to ask questions. So hold on to those beautiful, curious minds that you have on everything we're going to cover today. So, Ainsley, welcome. Thank you
Thank you
for
so
coming
much,
on
Amy. Nice to
today.
see you again.
I
Hey,
know
everyone.
you say hi to Ainsley. Put on your camera if you're
I love that
on.
people have got their videos on so I can see them.
Exactly. You've helped lots of our students in, the last couple of years. So thankful for that. And, whether it's on their own brand or whether it's on their property projects. And I know you're going to show some of them towards the end. But I know you've got a lot to cover. It's really super exciting because I know as we're moving into this world of, Gen YZ, etc. We all have to represent ourselves differently. There's no
Yeah,
hiding under shields anymore.
yes. No, it's true. Well, I might dive right into it because I've got hopefully a kind of value bomb, everyone. Um, so yes, we're going to talk today about building an authority brand as a property developer. I do this full time, so I do branding for real estate agents and property developments. I love property. I was literally on realestate.com this morning, so I feel like I'm honoured and privileged to be here with everyone else that love property too. So we've got six kind of points and a bit of a bonus point at the end. But I thought first we could define what an authority brand is. So this refers to how likely customers are to view your company as a trustworthy source of information or an expert opinion. So if you had brand authority, you may enjoy trust from your customers, a respectable reputation, and a high level of influence in your industry. So we really want to see, we really want your clients to see your value and that they get what your offer is, and to say yes to working with you. But before I get into the tips and tricks of building your brand authority, I thought we'd just cover quickly the big problems in the way. So I think the main thing for everyone is time, because building a brand authority, it's a slow burn. It doesn't have immediate results, but it is effective. It's a really great long-term plan if you can, probably a bit like property, really, that long-term plan. The other thing that I think is a problem is this. I don't know if people remember this from their TV screen, but that white noise of a world that never sleeps. So it's really just a pixelated metaphor of all of the information and the images and the social media pings and the interruptions that flood our everyday lives. We're trying to process so much information, and our little caveman brain is just trying to find the products and services that will make our lives easier and better. So if we're thinking in the eyes of a consumer or our potential client, we need our business branding to be really clear to gain standout. So if we come to the first tip, I would say creating a strong brand is a lot like building a house. And we really want to start with that strong foundation. So the strong foundation in branding is your brand strategy. A lot of people think that their branding is a logo, and that is a part of it. But branding is really what makes you different from every other company out there in your industry. So to lay the right foundation is to really take a look at sorry, I'm full of analogies. today. But if we look at this iceberg, we want to dive under the surface and really look at your ideal clients, your position within the market. And we want to find out why you do what you do, because I'm sure everyone's heard or read that Simon Sinek book. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. So most people come to me and they want these things, logo, website, the marketing collateral, the lead magnets. But to effectively communicate your essence, we need to jump into the brand strategy underneath first. Because 88% of consumers say that authenticity is really important when deciding what brands they want to support. So, or, to buy from, basically. Chances are you're not going to catch the attention of everyone. We don't want to water down our marketing and our message to the masses. We want to have that ideal client, and we'll jump back into that in a second. But I just wanted to do a quick kind of exercise here. Part of the brand strategy is talking about our core values. So if we look through this list of things, if there's any that resonate with you, you can pop them in the chat. But really understanding, what do you love about property? Or why did you become a property developer? Or even more importantly, like, what's just important to you in your everyday life? So as an example, it's just a bit of a funny one. If you love Italian wine, what your value might be is that you love bringing people together. So your value might be community or family. So having these 3 to 4 values and just having those as underpinning everything that your brand stands for. Because again, 71% of consumers buy from brands who share the same values as them. So if we just jump into the second point of that ideal client that we talked about, you can't be everything to all people. So what we want to do is get your smallest viable audience. Now, as I mentioned just before, if we speak to everyone, the message is going to be too broad. It's not actually going to pinpoint anyone's pain points or frustrations. It's not going to solve anything for the whole, like, everyone that's in your industry. And we also don't want the market to be too small, because that's an unsustainable business practice, right? So we want to find our smallest viable audience. Oops, wrong way, sorry. So what we'd like to do is profile, about 3 of your favorite or most profitable clients. So how you do that is you literally describe their demographics, so their age, their family, their profession, their income, if they're, their type of family unit. And then we want to think about, their thinking and feelings. So what frustrations do they have? What property needs do they have? Because these type of answers can help shape our property development or our decisions when we come to, deciding those property development things. So when we nail our smallest viable audience, we need to tailor our marketing and communications to speak directly to them. So the third part, after we do our brand strategy, is coming up with a visual identity. And this is really the starting point for the look and the feel of all your marketing content creation. And we want to understand what kind of visual branding will match your business best. So if you want to be seen as luxury and sophisticated, you might have darker, more muted colors and maybe have like a bit of a gold or a silver in there. Or if you want to be known as more approachable or like, mass market, you maybe have more vivid colors and more of an approachable like sans serif font. But the goal here really is for you to stand out and make people remember you. And it's really important to have that visual consistency, because more than 2/3 of businesses say that brand consistency has contributed to revenue growth of 10%. So just having your website and your social media and all of the touch points of your business looking similar, can be really effective. So these are just a couple of logos that we've done through the Next Level program. I can see a couple of you here today, so that's really great. And yeah, the best part is that Jason and Amy actually include this as part of the course. So yeah, these are just a few that we've got here. Number 4, the fourth tip that I would say is building your online authority. This is a massive one. There's a lot of things online now, but it's all about maximizing your street appeal. So once we've got the brand foundation and we've got your visual identity, the first thing that I would say that you would put it into is a website, because your website's your online home. And when someone's referred to you or they Google a business like you, chances are they'll end up on your website. And the goal is to convert those eyeballs into leads. So I just had a few helpful tips here that I feel like would help if you were going about making a website, to have that uncluttered, clear website, because that's never going to go out of style. You want to optimize your page speed. So how you do that is by having a smaller, like compressing your images. And you can use attractive calls to action. So just instead of find out more, you can have like register your interest or book a chat, book a free chat. Those type of things can help push people down your sales funnel. So yeah, the other thing we can do is educate your visitors through guides or resources. So these are usually like free content, and you get in exchange their email, and then that way you can start conversing with them and communicating with them. And then they can know, like, and trust you that bit more. They become then from a warm, well, just a lead to a warm lead. And the other thing that you can do in terms of building your online authority is to have a Google business profile. So this is mine, just the back end of it, under the hood, so to speak. But I'm sure that anyone that needs a tiler or a plumber, any type of service, you've all Googled and you've like looked at their reviews. This is a really great way to capture reviews on your Google business profile, and you can link your website to the business profile, so it just connects straight through. Another thing that I just said before in terms of creating, there's image meta tags. So image meta tags Google really likes. It's an inclusivity thing. And it basically shows the data of the image in like a back-end information. I just wanted to show everyone here that you can, if you have a bit of a prompt into ChatGPT first, so you could say, I'm a property developer and I work on these type of developments and I target these type of people and I work in these suburbs. And then, and then you can upload the image and ask it to spit out an image meta tag for you. That's a bit of a foolproof way of doing that yourself, if that's something that interests you. Another part of building your online authority is testimonials. So having that social proof is really important. As I just mentioned, like I look at every review before I engage a business. I don't know if you're all the same, but I do. It has that trust and validation. And also, as humans are kind of a herd animal, and it has that bandwagon effect. So psychologically, if everyone else has used those people, we are more likely to use them. Our brain has a preference for that. Another way that we can build up online authority is having case studies. So if you've have recently completed projects or you've got a portfolio, it really helps with that trust and validation. You can showcase this on your website. You can have it on any of your social media, which brings me to the last point of our online authority is a social media presence. So if you deal with like an older generation that's not on social media, it may be better to use your time elsewhere. But I would say most people are on social media now. And if we think about some type of content to post on there, I know a lot of people find it a bit daunting to post on social media, or they don't know what to post. I would just encourage you to go back to that client profile exercise, because if they've got some frustrations, you can solve those either through like long form content, so writing, or through imagery. You can kind of tell stories in terms of how you solved those. Another thing you can do is tell your story. Like, why did you get into property development? Why do you love real estate? Those type of things can really help a follower like know, like, and trust you and want to work with you in the future. And other bits and pieces, if you're on a webinar or a guest speaker, those type of thing, you can share the talk's essence on your social media, and you can add awards or industry affiliations. The other thing that I've seen lately in terms of social media is people are more drawn to those real or vulnerable stories. So if that's, if you have some type of lesson or something that's happened recently, sharing those stories tends to be really effective at the moment. The fifth part of building a brand authority is networking and partnerships. So I would encourage everyone to, be part of a network, form those industry connections, go to industry events. You can put yourself in for awards, or people can nominate you for awards. Just even going to the awards night where everyone or your clients or potential people are there. Like that's a great way of meeting people, and it increases your brand visibility. So I actually went to a industry thing in Sydney end of last year or so, and I got talking to a lady. I'm a bit of an extrovert, so I love this whole networking idea in terms of building your brand authority. You might not be like that. That's okay. You can, maybe focus more on your blogs or the social media presence. Anyway, I got talking to this lady. We got a photo together, and at the end, she had shared on LinkedIn all of the things that she learned throughout the day. And she tagged me in it, and inadvertently, I piggybacked off her success. She actually had a fair few followers. My post impressions went up 3,500%. So look, this type of stuff really does work. It's like a real world example, I suppose. I didn't realize how effective that was until that happened. But yeah, I would really encourage you to just know who you are, know what you stand for, and also know how you serve your customers, because your vibe attracts your tribe. And I feel like being authentically you makes you more approachable. It makes your business more approachable, and people connect with people at the end of the day. So, my sixth point was on thought leadership and content. So if you're more of an introvert, or if you don't like those industry events, this might be more for you. Of course, if you do all these things, it's obviously more potent. But what I mean by the thought leadership is either blog posts, articles, so you can contribute to articles, or you can have your own like LinkedIn article, long form content, or you can have free resources, so downloads from your website, or you can even have like as a button from your social media page. Being a guest speaker, like something like this, or a guest speaker on a podcast, all of those things offer value, and they really position you as the expert in your field. So I just had another little cheat sheet because, as I mentioned at the very start, we're very time poor these days. So if you wanted to write a blog post, I just did this quickly before. I would use ChatGPT to kind of work through a lot of the brainstorming. I'm just going to show you an example here. So I've prompted ChatGPT. I would probably make my prompt a little bit longer and say that I want to be known for being friendly and approachable and a few other bits and pieces. But I've just written, I'd like to brainstorm some blog ideas for my website. I'm a communication designer for real estate agents and property developments. Can you come up with 10 titles or topics for my blog? And it literally has spat out in the matter of a few seconds, 10 topics. So I didn't put the rest, but I kind of went back and forth with it a little bit. I said, hey, I really like number one. I think from frumpy to fresh, that didn't really resonate with me, but I kind of feel like real estate agents sometimes get seen as used car salesmen, like they're not trusted, and I wanted to go through via that angle. So then at the end of kind of riffing with ChatGPT, I said, thank you, that's very helpful. Can you please write a 500-word blog post based on how real estate agents aren't seen in a good light and highlight the frustrations that people commonly face? So it is literally, I wouldn't say that it's made my blog post for me. I would go back here. I would encourage you to make it your own, put it in your tone of voice, and use some analogies that you usually use. So it's got that consistent branding again. But it has just totally skyrocketed. If you were doing a blog post, instead of it taking like a day, it might take an hour or two. So look, that's a really great way of doing thought leadership and content, and using tools like AI to help you just do it a little bit quicker and save that time. And the seventh tip in terms of building your brand authority is to just monitor it. If you get a Google review, I'd encourage you to reply to it. Google likes that and bumps you up the SEO rankings for that. Having some type of customer feedback survey, or just simply asking them, hey, that was a great job. I really loved how it turned out. Was there anything that was bumpy that you think could be streamlined, or was there anything that made you feel uncomfortable, or anything that we could improve on? Because having that continuous learning and just continually upskilling, having that brand reputation is really important. So that is about the end. That's like a lot of information in about 20 minutes. So I hope that some of that was helpful. Hopefully it hasn't overloaded your brains. So yeah, this is how I can help if you need in the future. But otherwise, let's open it up to questions and have a chat.
Thank you, Ainsley. You definitely covered a huge amount on brand identity in like 20 minutes, and they're all gold nuggets and points. So we're coming to the end of the podcast. Thank you. I'm going to switch to our students now for Q&A. I think it's really important, everything that you heard today, everything that we do, Jason and I do in Think Property Club. It's how we've built our brand over the years, and wherever you are on your journey, whether you work for someone, whether you're building development, whether you're doing a little deal or you're doing a couple of deals, or you're looking for money partners, or you're looking for property deals, and you're out there you're talking to other people in the world, you need a brand presence, right? We talk about in step 1 of our property developer success, which is about, building your brand, because we want you to be known or respected more to get better service. And, when we first started out, we didn't have, any portfolio. We didn't have any experience. And, and I know, Ainsley, probably when you first started too, it's like, it is fake it till you make it. And your perception is your reality. So
yeah, absolutely.
If you're coming and say, oh, hi, I'm Amy, I haven't done anything, I don't know much, and I want some money partners to do a deal, no one's going to want to do anything with me, are they? Right? So we had to get creative. Jason and I got a logo done. We thought about what type of partners we want, what type of projects we want to work on, what type of profits we wanted. And we also looked at other people's, even real estate agents' brands, builders' brands. And we got something done. It was actually Think Property many, many years ago. It's evolved over time now, obviously into teaching you guys. And we got business cards done. We had a simple website. We got letterheads done, and everything came from that logo or branding. So that it wasn't Amy Tang wanting this. It was Think Property Club wants a quote from this builder. Think Property Club is in acquisition to buy properties with the real estate agents. Think Property Club is looking for investors for our property developments. So it wasn't from an individual. It was from a company perspective. And therefore, we got much better opportunities. Deals are coming in from real estate agents. Money partners were interested to talk to us. At this point, even at the beginning, we hadn't done any deals, right? but
Yeah,
it
but
didn't have.
you're seen as more trustworthy, and even just the in the money partner thing, like instead of just saying, "Hey, I need $50,000," like if you've got a logo and you could just do it in Microsoft Word, but just like format like the potential money numbers and save it out as a PDF. Like it just it has like psychologically so much more trust and validation there for that person that is investing in your venture.
100%. And, I want all of you to trial it. If you don't have a brand, I get something done, whether it's through Ainsley, whether it's through another. There's lots of people online where you can do a logo. Just try it. And, you don't all have to be Facebooking and social media and all that. Start small and, maybe you could send an email to a real estate agent in your area with your new logo. And you say you're a property consultant, right? And you're looking for opportunities, development opportunities in that particular area in the next 2 to 3 months. And you're ready to review deals and opportunities and see if they come back to you. I know that helped us enormously just in acquisition of getting opportunities, because a lot of you are like, how do I find deals? Where do I find deals? Well, you just got to get out there and network. Find 10 real estate agents, email them from your logo. And what you do, you don't need to write a full essay, just a basic paragraph. And it's a numbers game, right? You might get 2 people email you back with opportunities out of 10 emails sent. Hey, that's good. That's 20%, return rate just on having a simple branding done, right? And if you've got properties that you're selling, hey, even better. You want to give your property, whether it's a renovation, whether it's a new build, whether it's, a small pack of 6 townhouses to 20 units, that needs to have an identity and a brand, because people are buying your story, your values, your belief, not really your product, right? Ainsley, remember how Apple first came out?
Yeah, it's all perception.
I was sitting on a plane coming back.
Oh, sorry, what was that?
I was sitting on a plane coming back the other day from Bali. My whole family's just been to Bali. We ran a retreat there and for some of our students, and we lived there for a bit. And I looked around, every single person around me had an Apple product. Apple phone, Apple iPad. People had multiples. Jason had like 5 Apple things, of course.
I think I have one of every Apple product.
I was like, I was actually thinking this Apple brand that, evolved from a little iPod music MP3 player many, many years ago has evolved into this essential product that every single person in this world probably has.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Times 5 to 10, right? And there's just this trust there, right? And it's important when you're starting out just to build that little brand that you have, and it grows and evolves, and it doesn't have to be the name. It can change over time. But we'll have to get used to setting up something for ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely. And Apple's got nothing to do with computers in terms of their business name, and even their tagline was "Think Different," which again, it shows the value, that innovation, the creativity, not so much like the best computer. So yeah, just bringing it back to the property space, I suppose. Definitely, I think that business branding can really help when you're selling the developments. But in terms of the real estate agents, I don't know about everyone else. I'm finding it like things are not on the market long at all. You need an off-market deal, or you need to be in with a real estate agent. And real estate agents just want the job done. They don't want to be dealing with the mum and dad that are like, oh, I don't know, not so sure, like they're quite uncertain. Whereas if you're saying, hey, I'm a business, I need this, this, and this, and you're very specific with your needs and wants, if they've got something that comes up, having a smooth and easy transaction with a business person, they're going to like that a lot more than, going through a few open homes and, a long list of subject tos in the contracts.
It all comes back to the time. We're all time poor. We all want things done efficiently and effectively. And if we can all be on point with what we need, coming from that business, like you said, people want to deal with you. Even I know, JV partners and money partners, they don't really want to know the ins and out. Well, they want to know they're in the deal and they're going to make profit. But really, if you're confident, and I think having a brand shows that you've got that confidence, then they're going to want to deal with you during the transaction, say, okay, we're going to be looked after. And that's what you guys are here to represent yourself as professional, not just mum and dad, not just your individual. And you all have the potential to do that. And really, this is the first step in that property journey if you haven't done that already. So make a little goal for yourself from this webinar is to look at how you can set in a brand identity for yourself. Whether it's a logo, like go back, we're going to send you this recording of this webinar, go back and look at the points that Ainsley covered. Who will you be appealing to, your client? Is it JV partners? Is it builders? Is it real estate agents? Is it, worker partners? You might have money and you want to invest in a deal. Hey, you need to represent yourself too. Well, what do you want for a deal? How do you want it to work out? And what values do you have in doing a deal? So these are all super important in this property journey, to build rapport, to build trust. And the better you can get at building business relationships, the better opportunities and people you're going to meet. So yes, so there's lots of different tools and apps that can help you more. I'd recommend everybody to rewatch this webinar, to write down the points as well, and feel free to share your branding on our Facebook group page to get any feedback. I'm going to put Ainsley's details on here as well. You've got hers on the chat. Thank you so much, Ainsley, for coming on to share your knowledge. I always
my pleasure. Thank you. It's always lovely.
And I will go out and check out your social media, Facebook as well, on some projects that you've done. Always love to see them too. And everybody, thank you for coming on today from wherever you are, your lunchtime, work or home. So lovely to see you all and to keep learning. Remember to network with everybody in the Facebook group page. Ask any questions on there. I know that a lot of you are doing different deals, and I see different PTR or some of the sites that you guys are developing around Australia from other students. So check them out as well. Get inspired, because I know you're all at different levels, but it doesn't matter where you are. As long as you keep learning, this is that road to building up your knowledge in property. So wish you lots of love and success this week. Keep learning. Keep asking questions, and I look forward to seeing you on the next podcast. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Amy. Thank you, Ainsley.
Thank you.